Hi everyone. This is the Olympic medal for the 2012 Olympics that are going to be going on in London this year, and we're going to check it out and see what kind of symbolism we can find in there. They've used this same medal basically for the last 3 or 4 Olympics. There's very few changes in it actually. It's been the same thing repetitiously. This is the Greek goddess Nike. She comes with a sword and she is proclaiming victory. She's, known as the goddess of victory. There. Up here is the Acropolis. The Acropolis normally meant a place of safety, a place to go during things going on. Now the Illuminati or Freemasons or the elite of the world that are doing all the underlying things all around the world, causing all the, the wars and everything, they have put an awful lot of different symbolism in these things. And as I've said before, all of these different things, they believe in the spirit realms. They teach everybody else there's no devil, there's no spirits. But the Illuminati and all of them, they believe in that and they actually try to work with them. And they believe there's an exchange of energy through these things, that the spirit realms actually gain energy for this for their projects, like witchcraft. We're going to go over here to this one, which is a little bit duller in color. Maybe it's the silver medal. And that way we can take a little bit better look at some things. And we're going to look in here and find our first thing that we can find. And we're going to find this owl right here. Now you can see the owl here, and he has this little man here and here, and he's holding a sword. This is their, the coming Antichrist or whatever, whoever's supposed to ride the white horse. Their reincarnated person or the person that's thrown down into a new body, whatever it is. But anyways, he's shown an awful lot each time being carried around. But there's the owl right there. And you can see the owl right on him. The owl is known as Moloch, which is just one of many things that the owl as he's known on. Now these pictures, this is a hard thing. I call it layers because each picture blends into the next one. And that's the way you read it. As the layers come undone, you read the story. There's an actual story in these. In old Freemason lore, each little thing means something. Now you can see the owl here with the little guy again, with this thing right there. Now the owl also is the owl of Minerva, which again is with Athena, meaning wisdom. So we have Nike, which means victory, and we have wisdom here. And like I said, a lot of times they keep these things around because they believe it casts energy, that there's an energy between them and whatever spirits they're working with. They say they've taught everybody else, even if you don't believe it, even if you can prove that it's not true, that there's no way that any energy can be exchanged like that, they do believe it. So as I've always said before, it doesn't matter what you can prove. Sometimes it's what they believe, like in an investigation. So we see that right there. Now the owl has always meant, in Minerva means wisdom, but it only sets flight at the end. Because in all the lore of these things, when you study this, the owl, you only gain wisdom at the very end. Nobody has wisdom at the beginning of anything, is what it's basically saying. So when the owl takes flight, that normally means it's the end of something coming up. Now, we're going to dig into this some more, because right behind her, you can see this big giant conch shell. See this? This is like a conch shell. Okay. So this is going to be a reference back to the Mayan calendar also. Let me find my right thing here. Vishnu, which is just about like the same thing as the goddess Nike of victory. Vishnu, who shows up with the conch shell. And this means the end of the world, the rebirth and the end. The death and rebirth, which means the end of the age. Because I've shown before that he's actually on the Mayan calendar here. On the Mayan calendar, up here at the top, right here, this blue guy, it's his hand, and he's holding a sword. And this is Vishnu, and he has that little guy on his shoulder, just as we're showing right here. Just like the owl with the little guy on his shoulder. I even show this on the $1 bill breakdown. But there's Vishnu with his sword and the guy on his shoulder. This is even on the Mayan calendar as the same thing. And Vishnu runs around with that conch shell. When he blows that conch shell, it's time to rebirth the world, which normally means chaos. Chaos. all that stuff, chaos, disorder. That's what they're hoping on. Okay, so we have that first thing in there. We have that guy right there. Now we can go ahead and dig in farther and look for some more. Okay, so let's dig in here a little bit farther. I've done somewhere, I've blown this all the way up. And let's see what this, their goddess is holding in their hand. And if you look up here, you have to get your eyes just right, and you can look right into her hand here. I mean, this is around the front of the thing. You can see a woman's head with a crown, and she has a veil all behind her. This is the bride of Christ. She is cutting off the heads of the bride of Christ. Literally. Right there. It takes about 10 minutes for your eyes to get perfect with the vision in there, to work with your eyes. Be able to see all the different colors. That's it right there. She is cutting off the bride of Christ's head, and then she's holding it up in the air. So that's that right there. Okay. Now if you look over here at the, let me get my next sheet of paper. Think I'm ready? Okay. Up here on the left is the Acropolis. That's where you go for safety, supposedly. But you don't want to go for safety with these guys. Because right here, you can see the owl. Now you can see the guy's head being cut off. See, it's right by the sword. Now they consider also this clown. See how this is a clown? They consider the false prophet who Jesus throws down. He's seen all the time as a clown. He's always represented as a clown. And he's over here raping the bride of Christ. This is right on the front of the coin. This is not that hard to even see after a little bit. See the clown right here? He's raping the woman. And this guy's getting his head cut off. Right there. With the owl right there. And this little guy right here. Just like on the Mayan calendar thing, which is the end of the age is all of the thing. Because also, if we go here to the back of the thing, this is spun over, I'm sorry, but this is the symbol for the ww3. So you can see here, this is the back of the coin. You can see the snakes going out here. You can actually see a little man in here, but that's the guy that's coming or whatever. But this is the Mayan ww3. The same thing as the Egyptians, they call it the Egyptian bumblebee. It's this right here, the destroyer, the thing that comes and rebirths the world. See the little circle right in there? The yin and the yang, the good and the bad. That's what they're waiting on at that point. The end of the age. This is the ww3 at that point. You can see it's the same thing. You can see the swirl right in there, the swirl on the side. This would be just turned a little bit to the right. So it's the same exact thing as the end of the age for each thing that we have going on. We have Vishnu, we have the Greek goddess of victory. So we have each one of those things on it for each one. So we'll go back to this one right here, so we can take a little bit more of a look at that. So I can blow it up a little bit. I think I have this pretty well blown up right to there. See that that's it right there. The sword with the guy, and here's the clown raping the woman right on top of that. Each thing. Okay. Now I have another one, because right over here on the left side you can see the woman's head cut off. You can see this woman right here. You can see her neck. I mean, it's all torn apart. Right there, and her face is on there. Her face is just a little bit into the sword. They've studied this. They know that your eye catches on to one thing and you get stuck into it. And you can see the sword. Rich cut this woman's head off. She goes all the way up to here. Pretty hard to see all that. And go from there. There's my other big owl. Okay. And you can see the woman. It's over here on this side. Up there. Alright, so we have that. We know what's going on there. We have the conch shell. We have the Vishnu representation. We have the Greek goddess of victory right here. So we check that. Make sure it's okay. So we know what's going on there. We have the little owl in there. Right in here. We have the owl right in there. With their little guy that they want to have up, cutting off the heads, doing their thing. Even a little bit big. All right, so now we're going to turn it over and check out some more things. See what else they have over there. Now this is it upside down. So let me get my little papers right. And we will show that also in here, in the Sinmut tomb, I have to show this each time in case new people show up or something for each thing. Everybody asks about it. On all of the Freemason cards and stuff, and down in the Sinmut tomb, they continuously show this Stargate that comes from the dog star Sirius. These are all the angels that were cast out of heaven at that point. Jesus has the keys to this Stargate. He's the one that has the keys to the door. I've even shown this door on the Mayan calendar. He's the one who opens and shuts the door. These are the angels that were cast out. So every time they reference a dog figure, it's normally referencing the dog star Sirius and the Stargate. They want their king, Revelation 9:11, Apollyon, Asmodeus. He's shown as a billion different images. A lot of times he's shown as a clown, a false prophet, because he knows the future. And he's thrown out of there. They want this all to happen because the same time that he gets thrown out, that's when Jesus pulls his bride up at the same time. And everything's shown that it's all going to be covered up in the beginnings of World War III. Everything's going to look like giant nuclear attacks everywhere. And that's how it's all going to go down, and that's how the deception will be able to go down. Okay, so up here on the right side, way up here on top, I think I went all the way up on these. You can see this guy here, like a big hammer-headed thing. This is hard to get in there. Each image moves into another thing. He has a big P right where his eye is, and he's the dog. He's representing the dog star, Sirius. Now as this has been flipped over, this is as if it's looking down on us. This is a great big Stargate that has opened. Let me get my big sheet. So what's happened is a great big Stargate is opened now. And everything's upside down, but it's like this. Right there. You can see this big like lion thing. It's like a big bird and it's hanging down here. You see his face. I showed this on the Mayan calendar also. Just like that. Him opening up a Stargate and then coming through for his thing. Do I have it right there? Anyways, but I showed this on the Mayan calendar. This is Jesus right here riding a giant dragon thing, and he's got a big list. And see how the horn is trumpeting? And he's calling you out. Just like this right here. Because they're up here, and they're riding this thing. And they're looking down here, and they're calling everybody out from below. And they're calling them all out. Okay, it's going to get a little harder now, even if like those weren't hard enough to see. Let's see if I can get this all the way up. Right here, you can see the bride. She's up here with them now. Say each picture will blend into another. Part of her face can be another face also. One of the locks in the natural human brain is we all think we got it figured out. We put a cap on it and we throw it in the corner. We're done with it. Most of these things and all of old types of things like this, you can't stop thinking and you can't stop adding to it. That's the way it works. It's called layers. And you don't think that you've ever got it figured out. I don't think I've got it figured out. You need to discern each little thing. So right now we can see the bride. See she has the trailer and her hair. Not that cute, sorry, but hey, that's the bride of Christ up there. Okay, and he's up there with them. Okay, so now let's keep building on that. Have you seen that? Because I need to show this guy over here first. This is rough over here to catch it all. Let's see if I get all the way up. We'll have to talk our way through this maybe. Right about, oh, that's foot, hands right. And get just right for us. Right about there. Okay. You have Jesus over here. He's pointing off this way, like, hey, come on in. And this is a man, his back is to us. See him? And this is his head here. He's looking that way. He's got a P on his shoulder. This is you after you come up. You've been raptured, however it goes. Even if you were dead before he's called you up. You're coming up, you're meeting this guy. He's handing you a new robe. This is you getting your new robe. He's giving you, you're clean now. You're with Jesus. He's cleaned you by grace. And you go and you get your new robe. You notice he's not, giving you any crackers. I'm pretty much against that Eucharist. And you see him going there, and he's giving it to them. And he's saying, go. And sit there. Because all of these are the people at the feast. See, all of these are tables now. It's like this, instead of looking down. And everybody, these are all the people at the feast. All of them, all around there. This will take a bit to get into. This is pretty tricky stuff here. This thing's been around for so long. Anyways. Now again, once you think you got it figured out, you can't do that. That's one of the locks. Just like in a hieroglyph, this is how you read them also. Okay, now we have that guy. Now let's go ahead, and now that we've built him, I can build the middle. Because now I had to have you see this guy. I had to have you see him going up and getting his robe, because this all changes. This will all change, and these will become different pictures now. The way that this works is if you focus your eye on, like this P, you would find the man. Then you would build upon him. So now right in the middle is Jesus Christ again. Here he is right here. See him? He has a beard and hair, and he has a crown on his head. He's staring. Here's his hand. And he has this great big dude right here, this white guy with a white beard. It looks like Gandalf. That's what the false prophet looks like. He's in all the movies, Gandalf, or that white-haired guy that's with Harry Potter. This is him. You see, he's got his hair out the side. This white-haired guy, and there's Jesus. He's going to kick him out. He kicks him out of here. That's what he's getting ready to do. He's got him all up here, so he's got like his clown hat thing, and he's going to drop him down. So he's going to kick him out and drop him down. Okay, you hear my phone going. So what? Okay. So you can see him right there, kicking him out and dropping him down. Because after he does that, over on the right side, you can see this guy right in here. Like this. Here's the king, and after it's done, this is the way you read these, layer after layer. After he's kicked him out, they're crowning him. They're giving him, remember, all his glory. All the kingdoms are his. And he's putting his big thing on him. Right there. Okay. Because over on the other side, well, where's my other one? I wanted to show that one. There we go. Because I've shown this on Google Earth right here. For all the people that know me, I actually shown this right here. Now that guy that I talked about before, where his shoulder had the P, this is now Jesus' foot. Okay? And you can see the P on it, because the boot and the foot, I showed this on Google Earth exactly like this, for everybody's seen it. And he kicks him out of heaven. There's the false prophet being kicked down. This is what the Illuminati and everybody want. If you think the Jews run the Illuminati, the Jews want the 1,000 years. The Jews believe the 1,000 years is theirs. The time of Aaron's rod, the time of the Old Covenant. And they want him tossed down, because then, you have to get through all of this to get to the 1,000 years. So either way, the Illuminati and everybody want this to happen. So there's Jesus, there's his foot, and he's kicking the false prophet down. Out of heaven. Out of there. So he can bring up his bride. And then so you can go up there and get your robe. And go have a seat at the feast. It's pretty cool stuff, man. That's a lot of stuff in there, actually. Okay, so I think we got most of it. Here's Jesus right here, being crowned. All the kingdoms are his, just like after Revelation 18 when he throws down the millstone and Babylon is gone. Because he's throwing down this guy. See him right in the middle. Again, over on the other side, they reaffirm it, I guess you would say. And he's kicking him down. This is the same type of thing I showed on Google Earth, where the boot is the Pleiades, because the Pleiades is the leg of the bull. And you can see Jesus over here calling the man up, from death or whatever and alive, and he's gone and he's getting his new robe from this guy and sent to go to the feast. And just like on the Mayan calendar, if you go watch the Mayan calendar video of mine, you'll show me showing this right here, and several different ways and several different layers. Right here, you can see this thing here calling you up out of there as he's kicking him down for each thing. And there's a lot more pictures in there. I mean, and we can go over to here, and this will bend into a scarecrow guy. I'm not going to draw this. This will bend into the scarecrow guy, and he's actually cutting that woman's head off. He's actually now cutting the bride's head off as he goes through there. Where'd that bride picture go? Anyhow, because over on the bottom right, now the Acropolis, you can see right here, this is the bride, whoever, coming out of the pits, coming out of the place of safety, the Acropolis, which was the, like I've shown before, there's a place over off the west coast that Jesus can call you out from. And they're going up the ladder right there, just like the ladder of the Freemasons ladder or Jacob's ladder. And now you can start to see these guys starting to come out of the hole. Oh, sorry, I have to actually go and do this. Actually, what this shows now is after he's been cast down, you can see him right here in this little black thing right here. You can also see the eye there. Let's not worry about that owl's eye or the reptile eye, actually. You can see this guy right here. And see how he's looking like a clown? Right here, and this angel. You know what's funny about this? On my Britney Spears video breakdown, on the one called Hold It Against Me, this is on the tennis shoes. I showed on the tennis shoes, this is him exactly like this. Exactly. I mean, this is, it's exactly like it. Him being thrown down, because he is the angel with the key to the bottomless pit. Remember, he has the key to the pit, because they want to get Davy Jones out. And where he's cast down, you see the boobies of the girl and her face. I've shown this place, and it's right at the 33-degree parallel, and it's right over here. This is the west coast of America, right near north of San Diego, and this is the San Onofre power plant. See the two booby things? You come right down here, and we end up with that same face and hat. First off, you have the two boobies. See the two boobies of the power plant? This is right here at the San Onofre. I did this on that same video layout I did. Look how they've even done this over there. There's the head, there's the sword, and there's the boobs. The same exact place, because this is where they want it all to go down. Right over there. I've even shown this on the San Diego city card. It shows that nukes are going to fly over here. This is where World War III will start up over here at that point, because that guy drops the thing right there. This is right at the 33-degree north and 33-degree west parallel. And right over on the left over here is Catalina Island with Avalon on it. And that's where they believe King Arthur will rise. And the New World Order is where they think it's all going to rise, right from there. That point. This is where they believe that this is going to be nuked. They're going to nuke this spot right at the same time that the rapture goes on, and they cast this guy down. When they cast him down. This guy. Because he's right over the two boobies again, right? Just like in the Britney Spears show I did, or the Britney Spears breakdown. Now right here, you can see the line even coming down. Let me go all the way up. Because right down here, after he gets him out, there's Davy Jones. Right here. Got the P on his pirate hat, because they want to get death out. If they can get death out, there's a legend that they can get reincarnation back into effect. But as soon as he's out, you see him cutting off the grapes and their people's heads. This is when the New World Order starts. And there he is right there. He's cutting off the people's heads. There's the hat. There he is. This becomes his arm now, and now these are grapes. The people's faces and stuff right there. Now, I know there's a lot more images you might see in there besides me. But, I'm saying, just going with the ones I see right now instead of the billions of others. You can see right here that different guys like this are pulled up. You can see the demons that are coming out. This guy here, he's all weirded out looking. But he's tearing up out of there too. So we've got him coming up. Alright, so I think that we've shown most everything on there that we were going to show. There's our captain, or Davy Jones, from the bottomless pit. And the angel from the bottomless pit came down and let him loose. So that's what we have. And right here in the middle, we have Jesus Christ throwing down the false prophet as everything goes on. As World War III starts too. Because all the other evidence shows that they're going to lay an awful lot of nukes on that one spot. Okay, so believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Stay out of those Catholic churches and things like that. Believe upon grace that you are saved. Forgive everyone. Don't hold a grudge against everybody. Forgive everybody of everything. Look at the world we live in. It's crazy. Everything's crazy. Everybody's crazy. We are really in a matrix. It's all a matrix for us out there. Everything's been done. Jesus Christ will save us. Yes. I'm going to do a little bit more about this when I break down about the mascots. Because I did a breakdown about the mascots, but I want to do it again. I want to show some more of these things. Okay. Is that all that we wanted to show? I think that's about it. Him right there. Right there. There's the owl. The guy. And say when the owl takes flight, that means it's the end. Same thing as when we saw the conch shell. This is the Vishnu sign. The conch shell. It's all about the end of the age. Alright everybody, thank you very much. In the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Hallelujah.